Due to the graphic nature of its content, listener discretion is advised.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight.
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Mike and Sebastian sit down with Micah Carlton, fellow Marine, head served together. That's me, Mike Penny, and Micah Carlton served together in 1-5. And Micah, fellow designated marksman, proud to say. There's one reason why we needed to have him on the show. Aside from, you're a Sangin vet, are you not, sir?
I am. What's going on, fellas?
Sure. And Micah, I've got to say, dude, because we've been doing a back and forth, dude. It's an honor to have you on the show, seriously. Because
dude, I'm super psyched to be here, man. I'm a long time listener, first time caller. That's how it goes on here.
Like a fucking talk show.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked, man. How's it going?
Oh, dude, it's going very, very, very well. Oh, how about yourself, man? Where you at now? Where you living?
Dude, I live in Tampa, Florida. The worst traffic in the country, according to me.
Why?
It's miserable. There's lots of old people. Nothing against old people, but lots of slow traffic, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Florida drivers are notoriously terrible.
Oh, God.
It's just the way the world works.
We all have a grandmother. We know. You know what you're saying. So right on, what are you doing in Tampa?
Oh, I am going to the University of South Florida, about to get my bachelor's degree here in about 3 weeks.
Kill.
Yeah,
right
I'm super stoked about it.
No, this has been kind of a topsy-turvy all over, blah, blah, blah. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. When did you join the Marine Corps?
June of 2007. I went to boot camp when I was 18. Graduated in September something, I believe. After that, I went to SOI, did that whole deal, and then I had a security forces contract. So
yep.
we at security forces get a bad rap, real bad.
For what?
Well, I mean, you know.
Fast teams,
Come on.
you mean?
No, I wasn't on a fast team. I was actually in the PRP, the Personal Reliability Program, which gets even worse of a rap because we don't deploy. But that's where I got to go to designated marksman school, got to do a couple other badass courses, combat hunter, a couple train the trainers for optics courses. I was on the Marine Corps Security Forces recapture tactics team, which is more or less just a fancy name for a SWAT team. That was a pretty awesome highlight of my career. Got to do a lot of just amazing training, which you don't get in the fleet, and that surprised me when I ended up going to 1-5 in 2010, where me and you met, Mike.
Right.
And then went over to Sangin, which was another amazing experience.
Amazing, holy shit, everything's blowing up and we're getting shot at amazing, or amazing, like, I'm gonna fucking slay bodies? Amazing.
Well, you know, so one of the things about being in security forces was we didn't get to deploy, which is a travesty, in my opinion, because some of the best Marines I've known came from security forces. We all were really tight. We had similar backgrounds. We got to do just a ton of badass training in the recapture tactics team, but it all led up to going to 1-5 and then getting to deploy to Sangin. So imagine how I look at it is you're playing football, right? And you practice for several months in the summer before your season starts. And finally, when you get to that first game, it's like all that culmination of training and practice comes to fruition.
Right.
And so that's kind of why I say it was amazing, because it was like my Super Bowl going to Afghanistan. That's what I joined the Marine Corps to do. That's what I trained for every single day. And I got to do it where a lot of guys didn't, or maybe they didn't get to do exactly what they wanted. So, you know, couldn't have been happier with our deployment. My guys, we did some really amazing things. We made a big difference. I know you talked to Juan Valdez on here. We were in the same platoon together. He was a first squad leader. I was third squad leader. So yeah, I mean, we had an amazing time. We did some badass stuff. We took out some bad guys. We did some coin, the whole 9 yards.
What PV were you on?
Transformers, yeah, PV Transformers in the northern green zone.
Right.
We were at one point we were the farthest north patrol base in 1-5 because they were building up PV Fahim, which was, I think it was around 400 meters or so north of us.
Yeah.
So our platoon, a mortar platoon, took that over, ran the whole patrol base, which was rare from what I understand. But it was pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, it's a really unique battlefield in the sense that you've got compounds that can kind of see each other, and it's like, well, what do we do? Are we going to spread the line, or are we going to go out to these different PBs and work maneuver elements?
Right.
You know? And so, like, the TTPs are different in between the different PBs that you go to, but, you know, and enemy TTPs vary also. Were you guys calling for any XCal when you were up that way? Any arty?
No, we mostly call for mortars. We had a few instances where we got air on station, but we never got clearance to drop any of the big bombs or anything like that. But I called for mortars a few times from the 60s over.
Nice. Did Wooly P anybody?
No.
Fucking Wooly P that motherfucker.
Man.
It's time to make some corn pop. Let's do this. Let's make the grass grow, boys.
I'll tell you what, though, man. Calling in mortars as a mortarman is a pretty special experience. Is not much gets better than that. You just know exactly what's going to happen and doing, like, because it's weird. I was a mortarman, but I never shot mortars.
Right.
In security forces, we don't have mortars, obviously. And then when I got to 1-5, we trained, we did the workup and all that. And then when we got to country, we just started patrolling. So I was essentially just a 11, but with a 41 MOS. So getting to actually call for fire with mortars was freaking badass.
Gonna blow some motherfuckers up. That's what that means.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Do you know... Dude, somebody was like, what's a 9 line for mortars, like, really mean? Like, what do you get if you talk on a radio a 9 line? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, this this dude that I know, he knows who he is. I'm not going to call this civvy ass out. But he's like, yeah, man. He's like, what do you get if you call a 9 line? You never say that shit. And I'm like, dude, a fucking mortar drops and, like, just sprays high explosive 40 meters in any direction. He's like, that's fucking awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's why we get so amped.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. That is what it's all about. I would have loved to call in some XCals and all that stuff. I saw a lot of them getting called in. I know we had one instance where I can't remember the exact round that was dropped, but I think it was Artie, and it had to have come from you guys in Kajaki. But I think we dropped eight rounds, XCal or something, on one building where we had this sniper who kept engaging all of us.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, dude, it was just excessive and amazing.
Right. You're like, we got 20. Say again? We have 20. It's like, bing! That's how you know Artie's coming. If you say 12, they'll shoot some cool shit at it.
Oh, yeah.
But 20 is the golden number.
Yeah, dude. I love those red legs, dude. They got some just fun stuff to blow up. Love it.
Oh, shit. Yeah. That shit, when it goes off, when it's shot, when it's outbound, loud as fuck.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
Oh. Deafening. Yeah.
It's a mortar on steroids.
Right.
That's what it is.
Oh, God.
Love explosions. Who doesn't love explosions, right?
I don't think it's human.
That's what being a man's all about, is just loving explosions and stuff that blows up.
Well, all that I can think of is, remember that nice, satisfying, like, that happens when you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's so good.
It brings me back. It's bringing me back.
You see it at first, and then
you hear it. Oh yeah. It's so satisfying.
You're just like, you're dead, and then it,
Yes.
So good.
So yeah. After we got back from Sangin, I got out of the Marine Corps a couple years later, or not a couple years, a couple months later. Got out in 2012 and started up college in Oklahoma. Moved back to my hometown, and then going through the transitional thing when you first get out is pretty rough for probably just about any grunt or anyone in the military for that matter. So I was going to school in University of Central Oklahoma doing psychology, and I decided that I needed to kind of break away from the civilian life, I guess you could say. So I had some buddies who we were in 1-5 with, who lived in St. Petersburg, Florida. Mm-hmm. So I decided to move down here, transfer schools to University of South Florida, and I've been kicking it here ever since.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's been a good experience. College is unique. That's really the best way I can put it. But I'm almost done now, and I'm ready to move on with all my other endeavors and get that kicked off.
Like being mentally chained to a desk.
Dude, I mean, college is good for what it's worth, but I don't think that it's the end all be all for anybody who's wanting to better themselves. It's not it's not for everybody, and it can be beneficial if you have it, and if you don't have it, you can still make something of yourself, which I think a lot of people don't kind of understand. Is you don't have to have college in order to be successful in life. I mean, probably most of our parents didn't have college, and most of our parents are successful in their own right in whatever they were doing. Mm-hmm. It's just the new way of thinking is you have to have that degree, and then you have to get your master's, and then you have to get your doctorate or whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things where it's not going to hold you back, having a degree. But it's one of those where if you're willing to put in the hard work and the self-study that's necessary in the discipline, it can be something else. There are a couple of things that exist in this world, or career paths that exist in this world, that they do not teach in school.
Right.
So, yeah, you're definitely right. There are a couple of people who are out there who are foolish enough to think, well, I'll just, I'll go out there and I'll do whatever I need to, don't worry. Like, I remember, dude, fuck. I'll never forget this. I swear to God, this is the exact line this fucking Lance Corporal said to me in Camp Pendleton. We were in Seps and Taps. I never showed up in uniform to Seps and Taps. It was always in, business casual. And this kid, I'm like, so what's your plan, brother? What are you doing? Where are you going? He's like, look, I'm a grunt. The CIA's been waiting.
Yes.
And
yes.
Okay, so clearly there is a gap here. There's you watched a shit ton of movies when you're on deployment and think that you're going to be like Jason Bourne all of a sudden.
Man, I could not describe to you how unqualified I am to be in any federal government job just because I was an 03.
Right. I know how to kill. You know what I mean? Effectively. Really well. But, aside from that, in that realm, I got nothing. It works really well in entrepreneurship, believe it or not. So, just, the whole patrol leader, alone and unafraid, you got to do it on your own. Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think the CIA's been waiting Lance Criminal. I wonder what happened to that fucking dude. It's probably gonna message me on Facebook like, "Shut up, ass." Oh shit! That or else he's waiting out in the fucking bushes right now. I mean, it's right.
You know, I think everybody gets that idea that when we're first getting out, that the world is just waiting for us, and we're gonna have 100 job interviews. People are gonna be throwing money at us. Girls are gonna be dropping their panties, waiting for us to come home. And that's where the transitioning really hits you. When none of that happens. Literally
exactly
nothing.
how it was. It's literally, you're describing my transition.
Yeah, man. I had somebody tell me one time, because when we were on deployment, you would send letters home, and you get letters back, and everybody was so positive and tell you about how they just couldn't wait for you to get home safe, this, that, and the other, and I would tell them about how I'd be getting out of the Marine Corps soon and looking for a job, and everybody promised you the world. And then when you finally get back and you give those people a call, well, we're kind of full up on people right now. We don't quite need you at this point. Give us a call back, in the future. And that's how it went for several different people. And I think that happens to a lot of guys. And it's kind of sad because people are so emotional while you're overseas, and they're so willing to help, and they think they're doing the right thing by giving you these false promises. But then when you get back and you start ringing those phones, and they're saying, "Oh, we can't give you the position we originally talked about," blah blah blah. It's pretty shitty feeling.
Yeah, that's worse than rejection.
Right.
Because that's just false bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Yeah, that's one of those things where I skipped hometown. People, I don't think I've ever even had anybody ask me, like, why didn't you move back home after the Marine Corps? I think everybody just knew that would never, ever happen. Because I joined the Marine Corps so that I would not have to live where I lived.
Right.
Because I didn't want to be there anymore. And I was getting the fuck out. So, that was the other thing, too, is, like, I hopped over to Boston, and it just wasn't a good fit overall. That's the easiest way to put it. And then down here, very much so is. I mean, like, bing! Yes! You know what I mean? So, maybe you feel the same way. Like, you went to Oklahoma. Now, does Tampa feel like a solid fit? Is there a move in the future?
I've always been the kind of person, well, not always, since I joined the Marine Corps, I've never wanted to stay in one place for too long. So I spent about 2.5 years in Kings Bay, Georgia, where I was with the security forces. And then, I spent a couple years in Pendleton, minus my time in Afghanistan. Then I moved to Oklahoma for a couple years. Now I've been in Tampa for 2 years, and I'm probably going to be moving somewhere else in Florida for some work business here in the next few months. So I like to move around. I like to keep it fluid. I like to try out new places.
See, that's dope. That's the thing that I think a lot of vets believe that they don't necessarily have. I mean, case in point, Justin and I were just talking to Carl Franklin. He was born and raised in between, I think you said California and Oregon, and moved from San Diego out to Charlotte because his wife is originally from this area, and they were doing a long distance thing. So that's kind of been the guys that were talking who are having a better time now. There's no such thing as like a successful evolution out. Like
right, it really isn't.
And then when other guys are coming up to it and they realize, okay, this is gonna suck a little bit, and we're already out here, it's mandatory that we're hooking and jabbing with those other guys coming out, which is why it's always nice to see. And usually it's about, if we see them in the entrepreneurial circles, they're usually out for about a year, 2 years, and they've already been to school for a little while. Usually they spill out the back gate, they go to Wake Tech Community College for a little while, maybe 2 years. That has a natural pipeline into North Carolina State, and then you can get your graduate degree in a variety of different ways. But usually it's in there that we're seeing them. And there's that feeling now that it's like, okay, it's going to take about a year, maybe 2, and it's really shaky that year or 2. How do we make that easier? You know what I mean? And maybe it's just as simple as a move. Like, nope, this isn't a good fit. This isn't a good fit. This isn't a good fit. And then, yep, that works. Maybe it's just a fucking road trip.
Right. Well, I mean, it's easy for me because I don't have a wife. I don't have any kids. I don't even have a dog. So I can go wherever I want, whenever I want. And it's, fortunately for me right now, is since I'm on the GI Bill, I can transfer anywhere and still get, that financial stability, which is fantastic. But as soon as the GI Bill's over, it's kind of like, all right, it's game on. I've got 3 jobs now, but just wait. As soon as the GI Bill's over, I got to start really hitting the grindstone.
Right. What do you got, like a fleshlight named Liz or something? What are we working with here? Are you hanging out at Zelda's or something?
I don't know what Zelda's is.
Gay bar.
Oh man, the gay bar. So I got a funny story about a gay bar.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I do.
Lay it on.
Okay, so all Marines are like this, or at least all infantry Marines. When you're young, in your early 20s, 20, 21, 19, what have you, you love going out to nightclubs and trying to pick up girls.
Yeah.
Right? We all did it. It's like a rite of passage.
Right.
You go out to nightclubs, you get shot down, you get slapped in the face a few times, get some drinks thrown on you. That's just what we do. That's a grunt thing.
Right. Sorry if it was your girlfriend.
So me and some of my buddies, we go out to this nightclub. It's called Pearls in Jacksonville, and it's not around anymore. But we used to go. There's probably like 7 or 8 of us that used to go down there on the weekends and stuff like that. And this place was awesome. Tons of good-looking girls there. Real crowd, like nice, kind of trendy place. We didn't quite fit in, but it was okay. It was whatever. We're Marines. We can fit in wherever we want. We'll just make it happen.
Right.
And so...
Stupid haircut.
Exactly. Stupid haircuts and moto t-shirts and clothes that are completely out of style because we've been out of touch for so long.
Right.
But there's a weird phenomenon in the Marine Corps that we've all experienced where it's there's some like gay, like really just close-knit bonds, and guys are like okay with dancing with each other, and something that you probably don't experience in the real world, which I wouldn't know.
Right.
But yeah, so we're on the dance floor, we're having a good time, just a bunch of boys who hung out with each other all the time, got the camaraderie, got that whole thing going on, and we kept getting people buying drinks for us, and it was great. It's like these guys would just come up and give us beers and give us mixed drinks, and we were getting nice and liquored up, and it was a good time. Well, come to find out, after talking to one of these females that we were all trying to hit on, she started asking if we were gay. It's like, well, what do you mean? No, I'm not gay. Are you kidding me? I'm dancing with you. Why would I be gay? She goes, well, you're at a gay bar. What? This isn't a gay bar. This is the nightclub we come to. What are you talking about? This is Pearls. No, this is a gay bar. Suddenly it clicks. We go there. We get free drinks all night long every time we come because we're at a freaking male gay club.
How many times have you gone there?
Yes, and we went all the time because it was always free.
Were you pulling any ass out of it?
No. we finally figured out why. The craziest thing was there's so many hot girls at this place because they went there thinking they're not going to get hit on. Because they're at a gay men's bar.
It's like poaching and getting your drinks. Oh my god, that's perfect.
Oh, dude, how
You're
many
poaching and
times
getting your
did you
drinks
go
for free.
before you realized it was
Oh, I don't know if I can admit that.
dude,
Oh my god.
dude.
It had to have been 6 or 7.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh,
worst-
I think I dropped a third nut. Oh, my God.
The worst part about it is we didn't want to stop going because it was so much fun.
That's perfect.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
holy shit.
Oh, fuck.
Fortunately, we were forced physically to stop going. One night while we were there, we were in the bar, hanging out, doing what we normally do, getting our free drinks because men love young Marines, gay men. It's just the way of the world.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
This nightclub was raided by the SWAT team in
What?
Jacksonville.
While you were there?
Shit you. While we were there, I shit you
Shut
not.
the fuck up. What'd you do? Just like lay down and spread 10?
No, see, we were all on this Marine Corps SWAT team, and flashbangs come in, and we're the only ones that are not phased. We're a little dazed from the flashbangs like everyone is, but these guys start flowing in the room, the SWAT team from Jacksonville, and we're just like, you guys are doing it all wrong. We start criticizing these police officers, and they're threatening to arrest everybody. Well, apparently, they've been selling cocaine from the back of the bar for, like, years.
Oh,
Big
God.
drug bust going on, and we're right in the middle of it. Luckily, we got out of there without repercussions.
Allegedly.
Just like,
that that was
listen
the
here,
end
dude.
of Pearls.
Wow. Oh my God. You
That is-
literally kept going back to the gay bar until a fucking SWAT team raided it with you inside.
Hey, bro, we were getting free drinks all the time.
Oh my God.
I mean, maybe we only went back after we found out once or twice before they shut the place down. I don't know. My memory's a little foggy. It was a while back.
Oh man.
I feel like I should have thrown an allegedly in there.
Dude. It's like
It's so much
Did you-
cheaper that way. I mean, I guess that's how you gotta look at it.
I am picturing you guys avoiding some of the most hilarious and awkward situations just for free alcohol. Like, that's literally all that's going through my head.
I mean, is that not what Marines do? I mean,
Dude.
come on. No one turns down a free drink. Come on.
Oh, dude, I'm picturing like a big sweaty bear with a massive mustache, a mesh tank top, like a Command Authority SS cover, and just grinding his skinny jean package against you.
Oh,
And you're
no,
like, I don't care, the mojitos are free. The mojitos are comped. I'm alright with this.
Ugh.
And
Yeah,
then
they're-
like a two-toed hottie in front of you. There's a give or take in this society. Oh my God, dude. And you weren't getting laid at all.
Oh, no.
That's the best.
We were not successful.
Oh man, that's the best part about it. Oh my God. Ah, fuck. You poor bastards.
Oh.
Were you boots at the time?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't know any better.
Oh my God, dude. I'm gonna fucking die. Oh my God. It's like the worst high and tights and tan lines, and everybody is like fresh out of the field, and just, oh God. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was impressive.
No,
Yeah.
that was just one of the many crazy things that happen in security forces, which, as I said, gets a really bad rap previously.
Right.
We've got, I think that the recapture tactics teams, they get some of the best training I've ever seen. I mean, in our close quarters battle school, I didn't go, but the guys in my team were in there. They would get 70,000 rounds to shoot as individuals, each individual throughout I think it was a 5 or 6 week course. They would get 70,000 rounds, 5.56 and 9 mil.
That's what's up.
Nice.
I mean, you never get that in the fleet ever.
Right.
And the problem with the security forces guys, or at least from the PRP side of it, is we're not very diverse, which is a bad thing when you get to the fleet, which is, I think, why we get a bad rap. We have one mission that we pretty much go over, and that's close quarters battle. That's all we do.
Right.
So we go to the range, and we used to get 10,000 rounds for 10 guys, and we do that twice a week almost for during our training cycle, and that would happen every 2 weeks or so, what have you. So think about every time you went to the range, at least twice a month, 2 or 3 times a month. Like, you don't get that when you get to the fleet. There's too many people. There's not enough money to go around. It's kind of tragic, actually.
Right.
But in PRP, you get so many freaking rounds because, for whatever reason, the budget is different. I can't speak to where the budgets come from. That's way above my pay grade.
Well, and I think the biggest travesty that you guys... Okay, so were you an NCO when you came to the fleet?
I was, yeah.
So any NCO, this is my opinion, obviously it's a generalization, but any NCO coming out of security forces should at least go through some sort of formal school instructor's course or something along those lines on how to give a period of instruction. Because now you've been through all of those schools, and if you just knew how to teach a period of instruction when you got to the fleet, that's it. You could teach everybody else and then, quote-unquote, legally certify them all. That was one of the best things about coming back to the fleet as a... So, if your formal school instructor course and you've got all the other stuff like combat marksmanship coach, combat marksmanship trainer, blah, 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 you pick up the instructor tab anywhere else you go. So, when I got back to the fleet and I gave the gunner all my certs, he was like, yeah, man, you can do this. You can certify guys in the pistol. You can qualify them on the rifle. You can certify them in foreign weapons. Let's get you training these different guys. So, I mean, you think about it, it just makes sense, right? If you could come in as an NCO and you knew by Marine Corps or whatever how to give a period of instruction, God, that'd be such an asset.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of guys that went to coach's course, the various MAI courses where I'm pretty sure you learn all that stuff. I never got to go, but I mean, some guys do get that formal training. But for me personally, I went to DM school, Combat Hunter, and a couple other, smaller schools from here and there. Dude, DM school's great, isn't it?
Oh my God, it was so much fun. I flat out told the folks over there, I was like, dude, you could just have me re-enlist, and I would just go to this school for the rest of my Marine Corps career. It was so much fun, and it was so fucking tiring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, dude.
It's a fantastic program, dude. It is a fantastic program. It really is. And it's sad because when you get to the fleet, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, when I got to 1.5, they did a DM quote-unquote course, and it was like 4 days of familiarization with the Mark 12 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, come on, guys. Let's get some real stuff going on. I'm here. Use me.
Right. Like, you know what you're doing. See, that's the other thing, too, is a lot of DMs coming out into the fleet, they don't realize the power that they have, and so they need to be able to articulate, like, hey, no, I'm a school-trained designated marksman. I can be your guardian angel all the time. Anytime you need a guardian angel, that's me. You give me a fucking suppressed weapon, I'm going to smoke check somebody in the face. And it's going to be cool looking. So,
they're definitely, DMs are definitely, it's almost like there's two types of DMs, the school trained and then the fleet trained. And they're wildly different. The school trained DMs, as you know, we get, all that different terrain association. We get great time on the range, all these different skills that you get as a sniper. It's just condensed. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I think the Marine Corps could do better with that aspect, but yeah, it was definitely a good experience going to that course.
Yeah, hell yes. God damn.
And I think we were there at the same time. I swear I saw you there. I just don't know, because I know you weren't one of the instructors.
Well, it was June 2010.
That's when you were there?
Yeah, that's when I attended the school as a student.
What about after you were a student?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I would go.
I was there in January 2010.
No.
You weren't there? I could have swore you were there.
No.
Huh.
I don't know, man.
It was cold as shit while I was there, that's for sure.
Yeah, see, when I was there in June, it was hotter than balls.
Yeah.
So.
Dam Neck, Virginia is a freezing cold place.
Right.
You do not want to jump in the ocean during that time, trust me.
And it's crazy fucking hot, and you don't want to play in the swamp. At least in the summer. In the summer.
Right.
There's
always something.
Worst thing in the world. Okay, at least for us. Wednesday was the terrain association run. It's like, I don't know, 13 miles or whatever, and it starts at 1300.
Right.
It was hot as fuck. Like, when we went out on that terrain association run, it was terrible.
Oh, dude, did you do the 2 levels of the 2 stalking objectives?
Yes.
So one when you first got there, and then one kind of towards the end of the course?
We did 4 stalks total.
So, see, we only got to do 2.
Yeah.
We did 2 for score, and then we did 1 in the Finex, and then another one for practice.
So we did the one that's next to the range. We did the one that's
we
next
did that
to the
one.
O course, next to the barracks, the Finex, the Pratt. What was the other one? Well, basically across from medical.
Yeah,
Like
that's where
across
we did
from-
our final one.
Yeah. Dude, that was bullshit in my opinion, because it made sense what they were trying to get you to do. Anyway, because...
Dude, I was the first one that got caught on that final
Were you?
stalk. Yes.
Did you shiver a tree?
Dude, oh man.
Did you hit a tree?
No, even worse. I was an idiot. I guess I wasn't paying attention when they were telling us the rules, because the very first graded stock, you had a certain amount of time to move in position and to get your hide set up.
Right.
Right? But this one, as soon as they kicked it off, the instructors were looking. I didn't hear that. So my dumbass is walking around with this huge branch, like a 10-foot tall branch, walking in the back of the course, trying to set up a standing OP so that I could take a shot from the very back. I thought I was brilliant. About 5 minutes into it, I get snagged up by one of the instructors and kicked off the course.
And then you ran the whole way back.
Oh, yeah, I just got slayed. So, going back and watching the instructors just roast me was so embarrassing. That was awful.
Yeah. All your buddies looking at you from the back of the 3-ton.
Oh, yeah. You idiot. Shit.
See, I kicked a tree. Like, you know how there's undershrubs, and then there's those long, tall, pole-like trees.
Yeah.
And I went stalking up because I wanted to get through the first screen. And then it was perfect. It was basically like, at that time of year, I could come in, and there was basically a peninsula of greenery that had stuck out, and I had stalked my way up and in over to the right a little bit, and I wanted to get my body up and over so that would be my backdrop.
Oh,
so
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they'd look right past me. You know what I mean? So, and then I had a good screen in front of me that was coming up on an angle off the deck. So anything that they saw, they were just going to skip right over top of me.
Right.
I canned in my boonie straight over top, you know, so it would go up over top. Everything was vegged up. And as I was going up into this stalk, I nudged the tree to my right, like kicked it with my leg. And it shivered the whole tree, like leaves fell off the top. I'm like,
you're done.
Dude, it was going to be money, too, because I was rolling offhand. So I was shooting left-handed. And I was just like, oh, you motherfucker, because that's how I needed to. It was just, you know, terrain dictated that I had to shoot left-handed because of how it was. And I was fucking money. And right when I pulled my knee up in order to get that supported position, I kicked the tree. Fuck. Yep.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that had to run.
Dude, my buddy Medley was in the back, like, going hoarse. He was laughing so hard. He's like, you gotta run! Because you're a stupid fuck and you got caught. Oh, dude, you suck. Like, who does that? Why? The ridicule. Just twist it.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it is brutal getting caught. Absolutely brutal.
But you die in real life, so.
Yeah. Or you'd have to run even farther.
Right, exactly.
One of the two.
Oh, fuck. That or up. You're right. Or you now need to egress for your life.
Oh, dude, hearing the two words E&E. Oh!
Yep. Yeah.
But definitely best course I probably went to in the Marine Corps. Most rewarding, that's for sure.
Hands down. No rank, no boot blouses. Dirty as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Cigars and Sea Stories is proud to support and sling Counter-Strike Coffee. Counter-Strike Coffee, I want you to know, is meant to be drink black. Now, I myself love coffee. I'm a big coffee drinker. I went away from black coffee for a little while. Needed the cream and sugar when I was rocking it with the generic blend. Counter-Strike Coffee brought me back into the fold in a huge, huge way. They do a great dark roast. I'm a big fan of napalm. That's my fave. Smooth operator is good, though. It can go with cakes and pies, and I got a bit of a sweet tooth. I know a couple of us do, you know. And then also Firewatch. I mean, Firewatch, that's going to be the kick in the ass that you need in order to get your day going the right way. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't already done so, check out counterstrikecoffee.com. Use promo code Cigars and Sea. You will get 10% off. Again, that's counterstrikecoffee.com. Use promo code Cigars and Sea to get yourself 10% off.
I'd love to start writing more and more about it just as us also.
Are you talking about DMs?
Yeah, I'm talking about Desmond and Marksman in general, yeah. So that way we can actually get it out into the community and people can see who we are and what we do and, you know, where we're coming from as a whole. We don't need to talk about the range facilities that we trained on or anything like that. People don't need to know about that stuff. But, you know, a lot of the tactics and techniques and procedures we don't even need to go in depth on. But the actual training itself, you know, a lot of people say, why are you so keen on this? And I'm like, you don't understand. It's a stressful environment that you're always going to engage in as a DM.
Yeah, and you know, DMs are more useful in the fleet than the guys who I know who went through the close quarters battle school. which the Marine Corps Security Forces CQB school is one of the best CQB courses in the Marine Corps. We had guys go through there with the British Royal Marines, some Special Forces guys, the Air Force, PJs, like the whole 9 yards. They were getting some just badass training. And we also had guys that were getting courses in, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not. I was never told not to, but there's Department of Energy breachers courses and some of the Marine Corps breacher schools where you learn dynamic entries, stuff like that. But the DMs, when you got to the fleet, I had more knowledge on patrolling and land nav and all that stuff than just about anybody else because of what I learned at DM school.
Yes.
And employment of a DM is something that I think the leadership in the Marine Corps doesn't quite understand because of the way that it's taught once you get to the fleet.
Well, and the other thing, too, that I like kind of bouncing off scout snipers every once in a while as well is, hey, if we're in our own quote-unquote version of a hide, which is a guardian angel position or an overwatch position, you don't need to do that, do you? You know what I mean? Because scout snipers do not want to necessarily be in the guardian angel position.
Right.
That's not their primary focus or role. So if we have the ability to pick up that slot, then they have the ability to go outboard or conduct a reconnaissance element, because they're a battalion reconnaissance element to whatever regard. They're scouting and doing reconnaissance and, all of those other different things. So why not move the battlefield a little bit further? So now you got scouts looking outboard, doing recon. You got DMs doing guardian angel, sniping over shoulders and shit like that. And really, what's it take? Like, you're putting a squad in a house. Okay, so why would the squad be in a house? To be in a house, to secure that structure anyhow. Let's say during a shore or something like that. Wouldn't you want a precision marksman there at bare minimum? On the other side? Yeah. So, anyway.
Absolutely.
It seems like a no-brainer to the guys who get the training.
Right, and that's where the problem is it's such a small community and there's no really big leadership that ever goes through there, and they probably don't even know much about it.
Right.
When I got to the fleet, I was talking to the other sergeants and the lieutenants and the commanders, and nobody knew what a DM was other than what they've seen in the 4-day classes that guys get, 20 days before deployment.
Yeah,
so.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to be a DM is in Black Hawk Down, when the two guys rappel in, and then they're...
Yes.
Right?
Shigart and Gordon.
Yes.
Medal of Honor recipients. They are using that DMR.
Fuck yeah. That is a badass scene.
When you went through, did you use the DMR or did you have the EMR?
No, I had the EMR, and I hated it.
How dare you? Take that back.
I did. I thought it
Blasphemy.
was... I thought
Blasphemy.
It's not a good operations gun. I just thought that it was... God.
I'll give you this. It's a bitch to clean in the field. I'll give you that.
Whereas the DMR, it's not.
No, there's 18 screws you got to take off to field strip that weapon and clean it.
You need to set aside 43 minutes, as per the manual.
But I love my EMR. I loved it.
Yeah. I thought it was fun as fuck to shoot. They were fun to play with, and they're really cool looking and fun to...
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about, is if it looks badass, right?
Right, yeah, there you go, I guess.
If you look good, you fight good.
Right.
That's my motto.
I thought that the glass on those guns...
Oh, dude, the Scout Sniper Day Scope, Schmidt and Bender.
Yeah, the Schmidt and Bender 8541 SSDS.
Man, and then you got that night scope that you got on there. Woo! It's like a $10,000 piece of gear right there.
The lures. Bitch is badass.
Yep.
See, that's the thing too, is it's it's the mission capability of the DM at that moment in time, because there's an added precision layer that's associated with the squad marksman application of the actual rifle itself. It's not just I can do precision threats. It's I can do a precision engagement, then run all the way across the other house on the second story or whatever, and then do another precision engagement, slow my breathing down in between. You know what I mean? So it's the other stuff. So, and that's the embassy security. Remember those drills?
Yep.
Because it's nuclear, refuel, defuel, embassy security, and then like just basic, guard security to whatever extent. I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the basis of it. It's been a long time, but some DM out there that's serving right now is going to come on here and just roast me.
Right. Right, there you go. Well, and the other thing, too, is the Finex is awesome. Because you're snooping and pooping and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, dude. That was the best training I've had. I mean, we got to set up hides. We did patrolling. We did land nav. We did... Oh, man, what base did you go to for your Finex? Do you remember?
Story.
Yeah, that's where we went. Fort Story.
Yep. Yeah,
dude, we ended up going off route, and we traveled through the base housing. And we almost got caught by some probably wife or something that was sitting on her back porch, low crawling through the sands next to the beach, trying to get to our objective. Oh man, that was a good time.
Hell yeah.
It was painful. It was 3 days and it was snowing, but it was a good time.
Painful is the right way to put it.
Yep.
One of the biggest things that DM are sold short on, rather, are how many goddamn kills we get.
That's true.
DMs have gotten a lot of fucking kills.
There's only one story that I know of that was published about that guy in Operation Anaconda who's got like 20 headshots for 20 rounds or something like that in Afghanistan.
Yep. We gotta dig that up.
Yeah, dude, that's a good story, man. That's the first thing they told us when we got to DM school was that story about that Marine.
Smoking fools.
Dude, motivated the shit out of us.
Hell yes. You see that? T-box. You see that one? T-box. You see that? T-box.
Dude, that's another thing that I forgot about. Ballistics training.
Yeah.
I was the not to toot my own horn or anything, but I was the high shooter for the course. So I got to send a round through a pig's head. Did you guys have that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man, and like just seeing what that can do, and then shooting through glass on cars, and shooting ammo cans with water and sand and brass, like all the different ballistics tests that you can do. I didn't get that anywhere else but DM school. Like they just don't give you that kind of training. It gives you a lot of confidence when you get out into Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever you're going. Like if I'm sitting behind this sandbag, I know for a fact no AK round is going through this guy because I've done it before.
Right.
Which I think is just, remarkable training that you're not going to get anywhere else.
I definitely agree. It's almost like throwing a thermite grenade on top of an engine block the first time.
Right.
You're like, holy shit.
It actually does work.
Like for whatever reason in my brain, whenever I think of a thermite grenade, I'm like, I want to put it on top of a skyscraper and race it down. Like, I want to pull a thermite grenade in the middle of a skyscraper, run to the edge, and jump off that motherfucker and just base jump all the way down to the bottom.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be sick?
That will never happen, but it would be...
Bullshit! That will happen, goddammit. There's a building that needs to implode. Right? They're getting rid of something, and they're gonna let Mike throw a thermite and jump off that motherfucker.
One day, you're gonna have to build your own skyscraper just to put a thermite grenade on top of it.
Alright, but you gotta base jump off it. With me.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm not doing that.
You're not doing it with me?
No, I'm not doing that.
The wind's just right, bro. We gotta go.
Oh man.
Fuck yeah. Well, it's been great having you, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited you guys brought me on, man. It was a good time.
Hell yes. Well, you take care and be well. Listeners, rate, review, iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM. Do it. Click subscribe. You got anything for our listeners, Micah?
No, man. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. My Instagram is MCAR222, or Facebook is Micah Carlton. I'd love to connect with you and share some stories or do some business, whatever, what have you.
Very cool. Hey, Jocelyn, are you awake? This is probably J-O. Whatever. Cue the music!